I did correct your homework. Your homework has been corrected in Google Classroom. You can look at your scores. I'm going to reach out to a few of you because some of you did not do so well at all on that homework, the worksheet from your workbook yesterday. And I don't know if it's because you misunderstood the directions or you made math errors and you didn't know how to correct them, or you weren't paying attention, you were going really fast and you made careless errors. So between now and online math time at 1:30, if you could take a look at that workbook page that I corrected from yesterday that you did yesterday, whoever Kermit is, that needs to stop right now. Take your virtual background off and leave it alone, please. Thank you. Take a look at your math. I'll call it homework because it's your math workbook page from yesterday. And if you don't like your score, come see me during math online help at 1:30 and we can have a conversation about that. Okay. We're going to continue where we left off yesterday. Yesterday, we estimated decimal products. Today is really kind of an extension of what we did yesterday, and it's basically dealing with decimal point placement. Where does that decimal point go? Because when we're multiplying decimals, there's really only a few steps, and you already know how to do most of them. So how do you solve this problem? 31 hundredths times 24. I'm going to go ahead and put in a decimal point here, knowing very well that we normally wouldn't write that decimal for the 24. It's there, but we don't write it. I'm going to write it just for today for demonstration purposes. The first step to solve this problem is to multiply as if there were no decimal points at all. Which you all know how to do. It's just basic multiplication. I'm going to go ahead and calculate that. 4 times 1 is 4. So I'm going to put that 4 right there. 4 times 3 is 12. That would be a 2. And then I regroup my 1. 4 times 0 is 0. Plus 1 is 1. Then I'm going to multiply 31 hundredths by 20, which is 2 tens. So I'm going to put my 0 in so that I can just multiply by 2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 0 is 0. I'm going to write it in. We don't normally have to, but why not? It's fun. And then I'm going to add each of my partial products. 4 plus 0 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. 1 plus 6 is 7. And blank plus 0 is 0. So far, that should be just basic math. Any problems with that so far? Perfect. Step 2. You count the number of decimal places in each factor. I'm going to show you what that looks like. We've talked a little bit about this before. Now we're actually using it. So in our first factor of 31 hundredths, How many decimal places are there? Well, here's my decimal point. There's 1, 2. There are 2 decimal places in that factor. So I'm going to write the number 2. That means 2 decimal places. How many decimal places in my second factor? 0. There are no decimal places in my second factor. It has 2 whole number place values, but it has 0 decimal place values. So I'm going to put a 0 here. What is 2 plus 0? 2. This is my magic number for step 3. In step 3, the third step, you move the decimal in the final product to the left that number of spaces. Whoops, that number of place values, places. I'm going to let you write that and then I will model it. So right now my final product is 744. The decimal point as of right now is right there. Does that make sense? So I have 2. I need to move that decimal point 1, 2 spots to the left, which would be right there. Do you remember a while ago when we were adding and subtracting decimals, it just looked like you would just bring those decimal points down into your final sum? And I said, that's not how it is. Because look what would happen. Yes, this one looks like it just comes down. But what about this one? That one doesn't just come down. And later on, we're going to be multiplying decimals by decimals. And your decimal point is going to be in more than one place. So this is how to multiply a decimal by a whole number. Does anyone have any questions so far? Excellent. My random volunteer right now is going to be, oh, I don't know. Sure, Nick Meyer, why not? You can unmute yourself.
Can I say how to do it?
Yep, walk me through what to do.
So you do 5 times 9, which is 45. Bring the 4 over the 7. Then do 5 times 7, which is 35, plus 4 is 39. Then you do 5 times 4, which is 20, plus 3 is 23. Then you do 5 times 0, which is 0. Then 0 plus 2 is 2. And then that's 5. And then for 3, you just put a 0 at the end. And then you just do it everything times 3. So 3 times 9 is, that's a 9, right? Yeah. 3 times 9, 27. 3 times 3 times 7 is 21 plus 2 is 23. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14. Yeah, 14. And then 3 times 0 is 0 plus 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. And then you add them. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 7 is 16. 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 4 plus 2 is 6. 0 plus 1 is 1.
Go ahead.
And then put the decimal after the 6, right?
Well, how many decimal places are in
3.
this number? Right? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. How many decimal places in this number?
None.
What's 3 plus 0?
3.
So I go 1, 2, 3. So my final answer is 16.765. Is that making sense?
Yes.
Okay. For your homework tonight, you're going to be doing a bunch of these. I want to go over estimating because the directions say to estimate and find an exact number, an exact answer. So you're going to see 2 boxes under each problem. There's a yellow box and a green box, I think, or I forget what the colors are. Some of them, you're just in the first section, they want you to write the number and put the decimal point in. They've already solved it for you. That's going to be incredibly easy. In the next section, there's 2 colored boxes. I believe it's yellow and green. In the yellow box, you're going to write the exact answer. And in the green box, you're going to write the estimate or whatever the directions say to do. A bunch of you had problems estimating yesterday, and I kind of want to go over how to estimate. If you were going to estimate this answer, what would you write? What I would do is I would look at my top number, 0.479, and you look at that non-zero place value. That's a 4. For what 4/10? What 2/10 is this number between? This number is somewhere between 4/10 and 5/10. Is it closer to 4/10 or 5/10? 5/10. This number 35, the greatest non-zero place value is this. That is 3 10s. If I skip count by 10s, what 2 10s is this number between? 30 and 40. Closer to 30 or closer to 40? 40. Now I need to multiply 5/10 times 40. How do we do that? We take our 40 and we turn it into 10 times 4. Bring down our 5/10. Now what do? We group. 5/10 times 10 is 5 times 4, 20. The only answer I will accept is 20. Now, some of you might say, yeah, but Mr. D, I rounded this to 1 and I rounded that. I kept it as 35 because it's a whole number. And 1 times 35 is 35. You're not wrong. However, you're not following the directions. The way that the directions tell us is a much more accurate estimate than just picking numbers. So what I need you to do is get this in your heads. You're looking for the largest non-zero place value, and you're rounding your number to that place value. In this number, the largest non-zero place value is tenths. In this number, the largest non-zero place value is tens. So I skip count by tenths, skip count by tens, and I use those two for my estimating. That's how you estimate decimals. Let's try one more. I would like for you to try that one by yourself.
Estimating?
Both.
Both? Okay.
Yep. You can estimate and then calculate your exact answer, or you can calculate your exact answer and then estimate. I don't care what order you go in, but you need to know which is which. You need to know which answer is your estimate and which answer is your exact answer. When you're done, raise your hand in Zoom. Do your little Zoom raise your hand thingy. That'll let me know that you're done. If you're all done, raise your little hand there, your raised hand. Yeah, that tells me that you're done. Thank you.
Mr. D, did you get mine?
Get your what?
My raise hand thing.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Thank you. While you're working, I need to postpone our office times this afternoon by half an hour. And I'll put it in Google Calendar. Your online office time is going to go to 1:30 from 1 o'clock. And your math office time is going to go to 2 o'clock from 1:30. Mrs. King and I have a meeting with Sister Maria and Mrs. Tui we need to go to at 1 o'clock. So I'm going to postpone those two meetings just by a half an hour. All right, Christina, are you done? Okay. Lena's working. Dylan, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta raise your little hand thingy that tells me you're done. Do you know how to do that? Thank you, that's fine. Why don't I pick on Jayla? Unmute your microphone. Talk to me. Do you want to do the estimate first or the exact first?
Exact.
All right, go ahead.
So I did 9 times 2 equals 18. Carry the 1 to 9 times 9 equals 81. Then it's 82.
Go ahead.
Wait, I did something.
Good job. That's why we're doing this.
I put a 1 after the 8, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I did that too.
Over here,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and then
So what do I do next?
I put a 0 under it, and then I wrote 3 times 2 equals 6. Then 3 times 9 equals 27.
Go ahead.
I think she put the 1 there because when you add 8 plus 7, you get 15. So you put the 1 over the 2.
Yep.
So I think that's why she thinks she like messed up.
Jayla, look at, you did this, right? And then you did this. And then you did this, and you regrouped the 1.
No, I had 808.8.
Mr. D,
Yeah.
I got for the second one, I got 2,860.
Why? You know why? Because you did 3 times 9 is 27, and you used that 1 again.
Oh yeah, because that was from the next other one.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you've made mistakes, fix them. You're allowed to fix them. How many place values in this number? How many place values in this number? 1 plus 0 is 1. So I move my decimal point 1 spot over. That's what I get as my exact answer. Now, how do I estimate? Noel, how would I estimate this?
Why or how?
How? How?
How? Okay. So what you do is you round 9.2 down to 9.
Go ahead.
You round 39 to 40. And then you multiply 9 times 40. And then
Correct. That's what I'm looking for. So on your homework that you're going to look at, I was looking for very specific exact answers and very specific estimates. Okay? So what I want you to do is 2 things. Your homework for tonight releases at, I think, 10:30, if I'm not mistaken, so it's not even available yet.
10:30.
10:30. I want you're going to go over to Mrs. King's room in 7 minutes. Do that. Don't do anything in between time. When you get out of this meeting, go to the bathroom, get a drink, run around, jump up and down, whatever it is. Go to your meeting with Mrs. King. When that's done, you have about a half an hour until your language arts block at 11 o'clock. Make sure you get a snack, go to the bathroom. If you want to do some work, then you can. But be in that meeting ready to go at 11 o'clock. And then you've got like 2 or 3 hours this afternoon that you can work on your work. Is that making sense? I want you to do today's work first. Once you're done today's work, if you want to go looking at what you did yesterday, then you can come to the online math meeting at 2 o'clock and we can talk about maybe redoing it or getting extra credit or whatever it is. Does anyone have any questions?
No.
Does this look easier than you thought it would be?
Yeah.
Excellent. All it is multiplying. The hardest part is figuring out where that decimal point goes. And just like Marcello and Jayla, if you're gonna make a mistake, it's gonna be a basic math error. So you have to know your math facts. Okay? All right, I'm gonna end this meeting. As soon as I end this meeting, start trying to get into the meeting with Mrs. King. She might still be meeting with 5JK, so you have to keep trying until she starts it.
Yeah, last time
Yeah.
I joined their meeting.
Yep.
And then she
So you really want to try and be in the meeting right away so it can start right away. All right?
Okay.
All righty.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun. Make good choices.
Bye.